So in this video, I wanted to spend a few minutes talking about this Ritech ClickTech retractable fountain pen. And I kind of picked this thing up a few months ago in a different color. I followed it up with this one because I really liked the first one. And I've been playing with it a lot. And Ritech is not a company I was super familiar with. They had been kind of making a name for themselves on Amazon and on TikTok. And they mostly are known for their gel pens. They came out with this windowed retractable fountain pen, sells for under $20, which is pretty crazy. It originally came out in like black and pink and a few other colors, and then I saw it in this green, which looked just like a fountain pen I had bought maybe like 3-4 years ago, or retractable fountain pen from Platinum, which wasn't really my favorite. This one sells for like $20 to $25 depending on the sale. You know, it's cheaper now with Black Friday and all that coming up. And it has this window mechanism, which we'll talk about in a second, but let's just say is not aesthetically very pleasing. The pen itself is very simple. It's all plastic aside from a metal clip. Has a very long throw. That's typical of these retractable fountain pens. There's a lot of stuff that has to move around, and it does use a cartridge. I believe you could put a converter in here. I've not tried, but the system is very simple. Just like everything moves, like the nib section, the nib, the feed, that all moves. The cartridge moves with it. Ritech includes some cartridges there. I think 5 cartridges come with it. And again, I think the key for this one is that it sells for like $20, $25. So for the price, I really didn't expect much, but it actually works really, really well. And what do I mean by works really well? Like baseline, no leaks, nothing like that. I've had no issues with it. And I've thrown it in a bag. I've taken it with me, and I've not had any leaks or any problems with the mechanism. Then it always writes. Somehow, even though it's all plastic, there's very little to this mechanism. This thing never has any hard starts. I've left this sitting for like 2 weeks at a time. I think up to about 3 weeks. Just let it sitting, obviously closed, but left it sitting, and it always writes. For the record, I have this one in the medium. I've not tried it in other nib sizes. It's a stainless steel nib. It's a nice smooth writer, and it has a, it's a medium. There's no, it's a nice medium. It's a little bit on the wide side, but for me, I like that. As a lefty, I like that. But no hard starts, no leaks. The window, it looks very simple. It's just a bunch of moving plastic. I don't think it's gonna last forever. Plastic doesn't like to move indefinitely like that. But, in the 6 months I've had this, maybe 8 months, I've had 2 of them. I've not had any problems, and the window seal works really well. So that hard start issue is the number one thing. And I've had a few retractable fountain pens. I've had the Pilot Vanishing Point, which I'm not a big fan of. I feel like that one always had hard start issues. And then I had the Platinum, and then also the main one I have is this Lamy. This is the Dialog CC. I also had the other Dialog one. This one has the gold nib, which is really nice. And this one has a twist mechanism. It has a metal window. This one costs like, retail price on this one is, I think I bought this one used. So I paid, not retail, but retail on this is, I think, over $300. And, it's beautiful. I'm not going to say it's not. And the nib, I love this Lamy 18, whatever it is, Lamy 14K nib. I'm a huge fan of this one, so it's a great writer. But this one has so many problems with hard starting. I just used this one earlier today, so it's writing. But if you let this thing sit for like a couple days, it will not write, and you have to get some water on there and sort of like rehydrate it. And, it's just annoying because, you could do that if you're at home, but if you are out, then that's a big issue. So I find myself not really using this one as much. And the previous Lamy Dialog, their older retractable fountain pen, I liked even less than this one. This one, it's a little bit impractical, but I'll take it because I love the nib, and I just think it's just really, really cool looking, and it's on the wide side. So I'm not always looking for that, but once in a while, it's nice to have a slightly wider pen. Anyway, this thing has more hard starts and more frequent hard starts than this one, which again costs, say this one costs 300, this one costs like 20 to 25. So I think that's a really nice point in favor of the Rytec. You know, aesthetically, it's a little bit long. Like here's it next to like an Energel. Here's it next to the Lamy. What do I have here? Here's like a Zebra blend. The Lamy doesn't have a clip. It has a roll stop, but no clip. So it kind of like goes wherever it wants until it hits that roll stop, which is like, takes a little bit getting used to. And yeah, so there's the Rytec. It's definitely on, kind of on the long side, but it's more that the button is so big than anything else. Just as far as that nib goes, it's a stainless steel nib, very, very simple, which that's fine. It, it doesn't look great. It's like kind of too small looking, but it has to fit in here. So that's just kind of the case. For Lamy to use a full-sized nib, they had to make the pen body a lot wider. That's just sort of like the name of the game. So do you want a wide pen body and a full-size nib, or do you want a tiny kind of like, frankly, somewhat ugly looking nib, but a pen body that's more standard? For me, I'll take the standard pen body. I know maybe other people feel differently and they're okay with the wider pen, but again, that's not always what you're looking for. As far as like the mechanism goes, push button versus twist, I prefer push button. It's a very long throw, and sometimes you'll find that I miss a click. You just don't push far enough. This is going, look how far down that goes. That won't lock. That misses it. You have to go all the way to the very end, right? Not enough. And now, let's see, like here's not enough. And let's see if I can get the exact point right. Not locked in yet. It's right. Not yet. That got it. So it's really far in right there. So you have to put a lot of pressure on there. It's not like it hurts my finger or anything like that, but sometimes you just do this and you'll miss it. You really have to push to the end. So that's really the only kind of like issue I have with it. Maybe the pen's not that good looking. Rytec could do better with their sort of like logos, and like this M looks pretty janky. The clip is not great. It looks a little cheap, but at least it's metal. You have a little highlight here, and there's no like logo or anything up there, just a little bit of kind of metal in there. The window mechanism, again, it's like the window sits out while you write. That just like, I wouldn't say that's like unforgivable, but like it is not very good looking, but it does work fine, so I can't really complain. As far as the writing goes, the pen has a pretty comfortable grip area right here. You have a little indents for your forefingers. That just keeps the direction of the pen right where you want it. That way the nib is in the right direction. You don't like randomly grab it upside down. So I find that to be helpful and a very thoughtful design. And it's not the smoothest nib you're ever gonna write with, but it's more than smooth enough and it's ready to go. For me, this is kind of like a simple note-taking type pen that I really kind of enjoy using. I have no problems with it, and I can grab it and actually write with it the way I've always wanted to. It's the first retractable fountain pen I've purchased that I feel I could actually just grab, write something down, and then just kind of like put down and forget about for a while. It's not something that I have to be super thoughtful about or worry about like constantly cleaning or constantly wetting the nib or something like that. So from that perspective, I think Rytec really has been successful with this one. And then in keeping the price down, I think it's fantastic. And I think when the Platinum one came out, I really thought they would have nailed it, since I'm a huge fan of fountain pens from Platinum, but they missed the mark, and that pen is largely forgotten. But Rytec has gone ahead and figured out how to do it, which is very cool. So these are available now. You can find them on the TikTok shop, on Amazon, a few other places. I'm not really sure. Primarily it's on Amazon. They're probably on eBay and things like that too. And again, expect to pay about maybe between $16 and $30, depending on the color and the availability. And I will say that this is also available in a left-handed version. I've not purchased it yet because they've been selling out, and I haven't really felt the need to get a left-handed version. But I think on the left-handed version, this window, it opens on the other side. So you just get a little bit better visibility as a lefty. And I'm not sure if they changed the nib at all or they just changed the placement of the window, but I'm looking forward to picking that one up, and I will probably do a follow-up video about that left-handed version. So yeah, that's the Ritech ClickTech in medium. Thanks for watching.